What? Our teacher's Harry Potter today? Oh my gosh, what's going on? I'm in disguise. Incognito. No, today's a dress up day at school, so I'm dressed up like Harriet Potter. Okay, so today we need to learn about linking verbs. Okay, so we learn about helping verbs, or we're learning about linking verbs first, depending on which video you watch. Linking verbs and helping verbs are very similar. They're almost identical, actually. They have the same verbs. Linking verbs have a couple of other verbs because what linking verbs do is they link. I hate this definition because it doesn't make sense to me because it's so obvious. It links the subject to the predicate. Well, don't all verbs do that? Yeah, but a linking verb literally links the subject to what it's being done in the other part, where other verbs tend to do other things. But I don't like that definition because then you gotta know all the other things. So here's what I tell people to do. I tell people to memorize the helping verb song and then know when it's only being used by itself, and then you know it is a linking verb, not a helping verb. Remember, a helping verb has to hold someone's hand, so a helping verb is only going to be with another verb. So something else has to be attached to it. So if we look at the assignment, the linking verbs, the difference is a linking verb will also be all of those like am, are, was, were, be, been, being, all of those, but it'll also be what's called a state of being verb. So state of being verb is anytime we are something. So like when we say I am happy. Okay, so we can always drop in any form of the to be verb, am, is, are, okay, was, were, depending on what our subject is. We can drop that in the place of the verb that's being used. And if it makes sense or it's the same thing, then it's a linking verb. However, there's a couple of verbs that can be both a state of being verb as well as an action verb, like taste. So if I am going to taste my Diet Dr. Pepper, that tastes good. I am going to taste my Dr. Pepper. Okay. So would I, and let's take off the am going to. I am tasting my Dr. Pepper. So if I put am or is or are or whatever in there and I go, I am amming my Dr. Pepper. That doesn't make any sense. So in this case, I am tasting my Dr. Pepper. That is an action verb. However, when I say, ooh, that tastes good. Okay, tastes often is an action verb. But if I say, ooh, that's good, same meaning as that tastes good, right? And this is the other way to look at it, an action verb has to do action. So if I said, this tastes good, the thing I'm talking about is doing the action of tasting something. So when I say, ooh, this tastes good, my Diet Dr. Pepper isn't tasting something and saying, ooh, that's good. Okay? That's when it would be an action verb. So linking verbs are on this list. They're state of being verbs, and they can always be replaced with a irregular to be verb. Usually am, is, or were. Okay? So linking verb is always going to be by itself. So when we see a verb that's by itself, that's not an action verb, that would be a linking verb. Okay? So that's pretty much it. So when we look at the exercise down here, when we go to the linking verb on number 2, oh, and I didn't clear it. So hold on a second. I gotta go like this. Number 3. There we go. All right. So the campers felt tired after a long day on the trail. So normally, like I said, linking verbs will be one of those irregular to be verbs. In this particular case, we don't have an irregular to be verb, but we do have most definitely a linking verb, one that is replaced by is, was, are. So we've got the campers felt tired after a long day on the trail. Okay, so who or what is the sentence about? It's about the campers. What did the campers do? The campers felt. Okay, so can we replace that with is or are? The campers were tired after a long day on the trail. Yes. So in this case, felt is the linking verb. It's correct. So a little bit of confusion over the word tired, but tired is actually describing the camper. So tired is actually an adjective. Okay, so just make sure that you look at how words are being used, and that's linking verbs. Okay, so I hope that helps distinguish a linking verb from a helping verb. Remember, helping verbs always help out another verb, where a linking verb is always going to be by itself. It don't need nothing.